Okay, take water and taste. It follows that you can posit a relationship of,
Accept.
yes, accept, posit.
Water and taste.
It's okay?
4.
Okay.
4.
Okay. Okay, if it is water, it follows that it is necessarily not taste.
Why?
Posit.
Sugar syrup. Sugar syrup.
Sugar syrup? Okay. If it is water, it follows that it necessarily is taste.
Why?
Posit.
Water.
Water. If it is taste, it follows that it necessarily is water.
Why?
Posit.
A banana.
Banana. If it is not water, it follows that it necessarily is taste.
Why?
Posit.
Chicken lips.
Okay, chicken lips, banana, water, and sugar water. Okay, take sugar water. Take sugar water. It follows. What? Sugar syrup. Yeah, sorry. Take sugar syrup. It follows that it is not water.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of water.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of water.
That which is wet and moistening.
Take sugar syrup. It follows it is not wet and moistening.
Why?
Because, why? Okay, take sugar syrup. It follows that it is not wet and moistening.
Why?
Why?
Follows is not wet and moistening. Why? I have to say it's wet and moistening. I've said it's water.
You did say it was water, yeah. Okay. Okay, because it's wet and moistening. Okay, sorry, you're not talking to me. Okay. Take sugar syrup. It follows that it is taste.
Except?
Take sugar syrup. It follows it is not taste.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of taste.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of taste.
Object perceived by tongue consciousness.
Okay. I'm just going to move on to the next one. Okay, take water. Take water. It follows that it is water.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Take water. It follows that it is taste.
Why?
Because it fulfills the definition of taste.
Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of taste.
The definition of taste is an object perceived by tongue consciousness.
Take water. It follows it is not perceived by tongue consciousness.
Except?
Take.
One sec, did you say it's not perceived by tongue consciousness? I'm going to change my position. Why? Take water, it follows is not perceived by tongue consciousness. Why?
Because. Okay, take water. It follows it is not perceived by tongue consciousness.
Why?
Because it is.
Sorry.
I can just stop.
No. Whatever you're thinking,
Well,
try and say it in a
it's just
syllogism.
the thinking sort of just freezes, and then I'm like, okay.
Is it stage fright?
I think it's partly that.
Okay.
So
I'll keep my gaze like this. Is that better? I do want to hear at some point. Because when I come in the evening, if you get stage fright, then when we're doing revision, you all get stage fright. Then you're all having lots of fun and you're all making a lot of I have no idea. So, I mean, you've put me in this position. I kind of have to have some idea. So just try.
okay, well, I just lost where I was. That's why.
Water is perceived by tongue consciousness. Water is not taste. That's what I've said so far.
Okay, so if it is perceived by tongue consciousness, okay, take that which is perceived by tongue consciousness. It follows that it's a taste.
Why?
Because it's the definition of tongue.
Jesus not established. That's not the definition.
Okay,
of
well,
taste.
I shouldn't listen. I shouldn't try to.
Yeah, that's
interpret.
it. Don't try yourself right now, because not that it's not helpful to listen to other people, but then you'll start trying to borrow their reasoning. You don't know what they're thinking, so just try and go on.
And I
your own.
might not hear properly also.
And that.
Okay. Take water. I've totally lost where I was. So
Water is not taste. Water is water. You're trying to prove it is taste because it is an object of tongue consciousness.
yeah. Take water. I'm just going to repeat. I don't know. I'm just going to probably repeat what I
Just say
said.
the same thing again. No, maybe
Take
it'll
water. It follows that it is not taste.
Wow. Accept.
Take water. It follows that it is taste
Why?
because it fulfills the definition of taste.
Reason not established.
Positive definition of taste.
Object perceived by tongue consciousness.
Take water. It follows that it's not perceived by tongue consciousness.
Why? Stuck?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you want help?
Okay.
Someone help. No, you keep the mic. Someone help. Try and borrow from what they're saying, though.
Okay.
Okay, someone help. I mean, you can say it here, she can hear. It's the same thing. Say it.
Take water follows it is an object. It is taste because it is an object of unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Reason not established.
What reason not established?
That it is an object perceived by tongue consciousness. I didn't.
I think for the first question you said that water is both syrup.
Yeah.
No, I said syrup is both water and taste.
Syrup is both water and taste.
Yeah.
So you say water is not taste. If you say water, syrup.
Who said water is syrup?
Not taste, then it follows syrup is not taste.
This Socrates is mortal number. I didn't say water is syrup. I said syrup is water.
Take water follows as an object.
Thank you for catching on that. It's an object except.
Water follows it is perceived by tongue consciousness.
Except.
Water follows it as an object.
Why? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's these little nuances that as you debate more, you'll start picking up. So, I said something blatantly, seemingly contradictory, which was, I said it's not taste, but it is perceived by tongue consciousness.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
So then you just have to show me the contradiction. It follows it is taste because it is perceived by tongue consciousness. That's all you have to do, right? It's clear. Because I'm saying tooth, it's like saying everyone, I'm saying like, it's the equivalent of saying something like, chickens are not animals, yeah? But they are birds animals? Yeah, but they're birds, right? So you say take a chicken, it follows it is an animal because it is a bird. I'm saying it is not taste, but it is an object of tongue. It is perceived by tongue consciousness. Just normal. So I don't think you can't do it.
No, I don't think I
you've-
can't do it either, but like something happens and then it's just like, I'm like in freeze, like deer in headlights and I'm like,
Yeah, I can see many of you have this deer in the headlights kind of expression. I wish I had a camera. I'd take photos of all of you and mail them to you afterwards so you'd see how beautiful you look at this 3:30 class. Gosh. Do you want to try when you pass it on?
oh, I think I passed it on.
Okay. Who's next? Who's the next deer? Come, let's get you all out of this.
Sacrificial deer.
Yeah, let's go.
Who wants to
Sacrifice,
Mhm.
sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, first, I want to say that I didn't understand, I think, well. It starts well. I made a syllogism, ABC. I don't think that's what was asked.
Too much introduction.
Okay,
Just debate with me.
take clay, it follows it is red because it is constituted of earth element.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Yes, exactly.
So then,
Okay, take clay, it follows it is red because
no, wait, let me say something. Why?
Okay, take clay, it follows it is red
Why?
because it is constituted of earth element.
No pervasion.
Take clay, what is the definition of earth element?
That which is hard and obstructive.
Take clay, it follows it is hard and unobstructed.
Obstructive, yeah.
Obstructed.
Yeah.
Take clay, can you give the definition of clay?
Can I Google it? I don't know what the definition of clay is.
Okay,
What is the
yeah.
definition?
take clay, is the definition what is made of earth?
No, who said that? Why? I'll tell you the definition of clay. A stiff, sticky, fine-grained earth that can be molded when wet and is dried and baked to make bricks, pottery, and ceramics, etc. That's the definition of clay.
Take clays as the definition just given, was not earth constituted of earth?
Constitute of earth? Why? It is constitute of earth.
Okay. Take clay, it is. I'm a little bit stuck here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can you state no
pervasion?
the provision?
If it is constituted of the earth element, it doesn't follow it is red.
Take clay, just because not earth element is constituted of a red color, it does clay as other color than red?
Yeah, I can.
Please posit
Brown. Brown. It can be brown. Grey also, I believe.
So take earth element and clay. Can we posit that earth is clay is constituted of earth?
Except.
Okay. I'm a little bit.
What are you trying to prove?
What I wanted to prove is that not because what I wanted to prove is that the fact that clay is made of earth, it is an earth element, but you can say that even you say no pervasion because clay is not red, it can be brown, it can be white, and it can be also constituted of other elements.
But you've prepared your debate assuming that I am going to say it is red. Right? Your whole debate was
yes.
prepared on the assumption that I am going to say it is red.
Yes, exactly.
But I said it's not red.
Okay.
So then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's better if you prepare the 4 questions and start exploring what's happening.
Okay.
When you
okay.
prepare a debate, it's better that you make 4 questions because then you don't know what they'll say and you'll prepare. Because sometimes we prepare a debate and it's very like, this is what's going to happen, and then someone says complete opposite.
Yes.
Right? So we're saying the same thing essentially.
Okay.
Ornella, your turn. Your turn. You were also today. No? You were not today? Okay.
Okay. So thank you. I will
Yeah.
prepare better
Yeah.
next time.
No, next time now, we'll just do a 4 thing.
Yes.
Do a
with the
4 thing, it's
questions,
easier.
and
Yeah,
after
it's
that,
easier. It makes more sense because then you have more things to also discuss. It opens up the more doors for debate, yeah?
Okay.
Who's the next?
DJ Church.
Oh, wow.
If it is darkness of night, it follows it is not generality.
Darkness of night? Gosh. Why?
Give me an example.
Darkness of night.
If it is darkness of night, it follows it is generality.
I'll say accept.
Except if it is generality, it follows it is darkness of the night.
I'll also say accept.
If it is not generality, it follows it is night.
Darkness of night. Why?
Yeah, if it is not generality, it follows it is
Why?
darkness of night.
Why?
Give me an example.
Horns of a rabbit.
Horns of rabbit. So your first only example is darkness of night.
Yeah.
Take darkness of night. It follows it is a darkness of night.
Accept.
Take darkness of night. Follows it is not darkness of night.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of darkness of night. Darkness. Darkness. You can posit the definition of darkness.
Not enough light to see properly off night.
Okay. If it is darkness of night, it follows it is generality.
No, you already said that.
Okay. So it is not enough light to see in the night,
Yes,
right?
that's the meaning of darkness of night. Absence of light at night.
Okay, if it is absence of light at night. It follows there are instances in the night.
Of the darkness of night?
Mhm.
Yeah, accept.
It follows you can posit the instances of darkness of night.
Accept.
Posit.
The darkness of last night, the darkness of tonight, the darkness of day before yesterday's night.
Okay. It follows you accepted darkness of night is generality.
Accept.
It follows you can posit the definition of generality.
Accept.
Posit.
The phenomenon that encompasses its specific distinctions.
It follows
Huh? Was that it?
specific
Distinctions? First you debate, then I'll give you distinctions.
A phenomenon encompassing its specific instances.
Yeah, okay, fine. That.
It follows the darkness of night is encompassing specific instances.
Accept.
It follows it is encompassing stars and moon
Why?
because they are instances of night.
Reason not established.
Posit the why reason not established.
Because they're not night.
They come in
No provision.
they exist in the night.
Make your syllogism.
Take stars and moon,
Hmm.
they are existent in the night.
Except. Naga, the important thing is you're saying something. Not that you're just blabbing, but you're thinking in syllogisms. That's what we're trying to test. We've said we don't care whether you're making sense.
Okay.
Right? Like you're thinking that there are instances of night because they exist at night. So give it as a syllogism. You're doing the right thing. Don't worry.
Okay. So it follows they are existent in the night and they are encompassed in the generality of the night
Why?
because you can see them
No.
clearly.
No pervasion.
Because they appear in the night.
No pervasion.
State your pervasion.
If you can see them at night, if they appear at night, it doesn't follow that they are encompassed in the night and they are instances of the night.
It follows you can posit the instance of night.
Except
Posit
last
again.
night.
Hmm?
Last night. Tonight.
Okay.
Tomorrow night.
It follows all these instances of night or just night and they do not have any stars and moon encompassing.
Yeah, except they don't have encompassing. Exactly. Except.
Okay, I guess that's about it. That's
Okay.
why I wanted to.
But that's fine. That's fine. It sounds like it might not make sense, but when you say encompass, Naga might think encompass be included in, right? Like this is an all-encompassing, what is that? What do we say? All-encompassing love. Don't we make those kind of things? Where you encompass all sentient beings. The word encompass can be intended in different ways. Technically, your debate is checking what encompass means in the definition of generality. So you said stars are encompassed by the night because they belong to the night, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
The point is your thinking has to translate slowly into syllogisms, right? At some point, it's not going to be everything only in the text. It's going to be your take on what the text says, but you need to translate that in syllogisms. So that's actually perfect. What you've done is perfect.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
It's not right, but it's perfect. But we don't care whether it's right or not. Yeah? Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Who's next? We have 6 more. Were you tonight?
I think.
Tonight. After today, yeah.
Take two things that have the 8 doors of pervasion, and and two things that have the relationship of definiendum and definition. It follows they have a relationship.
Yeah, okay, accept.
Please posit it.
3 possibilities.
Okay, so if it is two things that have the 8 doors of pervasion, it follows it's necessarily not two things that have the relationship of definiendum and definition.
Why?
For example.
Hot and burning and fire.
What?
Hot and burning and fire.
Okay. If it is two things that have the 8 doors of pervasion, it follows it is two things that have the relationship of definiendum and definition.
Why?
For example.
Mark and the person in class who keeps correcting the English. No, seriously, they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Okay.
Mark and the person in this class who keeps correcting English. Yeah.
Okay. If it is two things that have the relationship of definiendum and definition, it follows it is two things that have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Except.
If it is not two things that have the 8 doors of pervasion, it follows it is something that has the relationship of definiendum and
Why?
definition. For example.
Pot.
Okay. Let's see. So take Mark and the person who keeps correcting the English.
In this class.
In this class.
Yeah.
Okay. It follows they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Except.
It follows that if it is the person correcting English in this class,
Who keeps
It
correcting
is
English. It's not just
keeps.
correcting English, yes.
keeps. It follows it is Mark.
Except. Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise, sometimes Archana also does, but it's not keeps correcting. See, there's a.
Okay. So now, take fire and hot and burning. It follows they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Except.
Take fire. It follows it fulfills the definition of hot and burning.
Except.
Take kitchen fire. It follows it fulfills the definition of hot and burning.
Except.
So take kitchen fire and hot and burning. It follows they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Why?
Okay. Please state the first 2 doors for kitchen fire and.
If it is kitchen fire, if to have the 8 doors of provision, it would have to be, if it is kitchen fire, it follows it is hot and burning. If it is hot and burning, it follows it is kitchen fire.
So why? So take kitchen fire. It follows. It is hot and burning.
Except.
If it is kitchen fire, it follows it is hot and burning.
Except.
But if it is hot and burning, it doesn't follow its kitchen.
Correct. Except.
Take momentary and that which has the capacity to function. Follows they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Except.
It follows that which has the capacity to function fulfills the definition of momentary.
Except. Fulfills the definition of momentary, of impermanent, you mean?
Fulfills.
The definition momentary.
Take that which is has the capacity to function, follows it is momentary.
Except.
So take that which has the capacity to function, it follows it's impermanent.
Except.
It's impermanent, why?
Because it's momentary. Because it functions, let's say that.
So take that which has the capacity to function, it follows it's impermanent because it
Functions.
because it fulfills, I'm giving my own reason.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Because it fulfills the definition of
Impermanent.
impermanent.
That also, yeah.
There's something I can't quite get at, but
You feel like
okay,
you're floating around
take,
it?
Take Hercules.
Oh. Okay.
It follows he's a pillar
Why?
because he has the capacity to hold up a beam.
No pervasion.
What no pervasion?
If he has the capacity to hold up a beam, it doesn't follow it is a pillar.
So, I can't quite get to what I
Yeah.
want to get to.
So that feeling that you have,
Yeah.
that's the feeling that made me start wanting to learn debate. I swear.
Yeah.
I felt like I was floating around, skimming the surface,
Mm.
and I knew that there was somewhere where I could get in.
Yeah.
And again, in Varanasi, he would keep teaching, and he would go forward, and I was like, why can't I get in? Like, it's like something's preventing me from getting in. And then when I asked him, he said, well, yeah, you've never learned debate. He was just like, it was the most dry answer I've ever heard. I still remember again saying it. That's why I came to IVD. So you're doing it, it's fine. I'm just curious about one thing. Take Mark Twain. See, you could have gone there. Take Mark Twain. It follows he is the person who is always correcting English in this class
Why?
because he's Mark.
No pervasion?
What no pervasion?
Just because he's Mark, it doesn't follow he is the one who's always correcting.
But I had
English.
initially said that they have the 8 doors of pervasion.
Ah,
You could have gone there, right? For example. Yeah?
but that doesn't seem like what I'm after.
That's okay, I'm just saying but the thing is, when you're starting, okay, thank you, that's helpful. When you're starting to debate, also pay attention to everything that's being said, because what you're after, maybe this is helpful, what you're after is something that needs you to be able to debate at length to get at.
But the interesting thing is I don't know what I'm after.
That's okay, but what you're after is something that you feel is elusive, but you're trying to get at,
Yeah.
right? But in trying to get at that, you need to be able to structure your syllogisms in work, right? To be able to structure your syllogisms in work, you need practice in all sorts of syllogisms. So when you're dealing with all kinds of weird things or strange responses, if you can intervene and challenge all of them, you're developing that skill. So even though it's not what you were after in this, had you been, like when I'm listening, for instance, when I'm trained to listen, right? I pick up on most little inconsistencies that are said. And then if I challenge them and I learn to challenge all of them, with each challenge I get practice. We're concerned with the practice part of it right now. So if you just practiced even that thing that I said, which is if it is Mark, it follows it is that person who's always correcting us in that class, you would have had that skill.
Yeah.
Now the more you would have challenged that thing that is seeming elusive to you now, that would become less elusive through your training in reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So don't try to only prove what you want to prove. Try and challenge anything that is being said. Try and challenge whatever strange answers are coming. Whether you agree, you don't agree. It's practice. Literally, it's practice, okay? Yeah? So you want to have all-rounded practice. It doesn't matter that you've planned to do this and someone suddenly throws you off. You try and challenge that. As long as you pick up on an inconsistency, that's what we're checking for. And then you try and challenge it, yeah? What appears an inconsistency to you? It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Next. I do remember a little bit who raised their hands yesterday. Maya was one. Kai was one. Who else was one? Yeah. Yeah? Let's just let Kai finish. He's got the mic 1 sec. Huh? Sorry. Yeah, we'll come to you next. Yes.
Okay.
Ready.
It's okay when I don't know all the definitions?
I know them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Okay. Take Kai,
Oh God.
a
Yeah.
human being,
Yes.
and fixation.
Okay.
How many possibilities?
Exclusive.
Then it's really short, huh? Take Kai, a human being,
Mm-hmm.
it follows she's not fixated.
Fixated? Why?
Give
I mean,
me
I don't know. I don't think you're fixated. No, except she's not fixated.
Take Kai,
Hmm.
it follows a human being,
Hmm.
it follows she is fixated.
Fixated, except.
What is the difference? There's another word than fixated?
I think fixation is a noun, no? Fixated is, what is it? It's an adjective. So you are fixated would mean that that's what you are doing.
Blocked.
That's what you're doing. It's your action.
Yeah.
You are fixation means you are the thing that is fixated. You are not the thing that is fixated. You have that, but you are not that, right?
Yes.
You don't say you are ignorance.
No.
I don't even say you're ignorant, but I mean, just to distinguish, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, fixated. Huh?
Now.
See, do you see? Do you see? Mark, the person who always corrects English in this class. I mean, how spot on was I with that? Yes, Mark, do tell us. It's a quality, you see, it's a quality. It's
So
not. it's not.
fixated is okay to say?
No, it's still not okay. But
But
it's
no,
just,
but
we have a
it's-
slight correction.
Huh?
Because of
Fixated, I can say?
you might be fixated, but not fixation.
Okay.
Fixation is, it's a mental thing. It's a mental event. It's a mental state. You are not mental. You are non-associated formative factor.
If it's fixation,
Hmm.
it follows Kai, a human being.
Yeah.
It is Kai, a human being.
Why?
Give me an example.
My fixation.
I'm struggling with fixation and fixed right now.
My fixation with getting all of you to do this properly. That's my fixation. It's a fixation. It's not Kai.
So if it's not Kai, a human being,
Mm.
it follows it is a fixation.
Why?
Give me example.
Professor Mark.
Okay. So take. Huh? What was the second answer? The first was the same.
If it is a human being,
Yeah.
it is not fixation. No, wait. The second answer was if it is Kai, the
Kai,
human being, it follows it is not fixation except.
You accept also
If
the
it,
second.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, so
If it is fixation, it follows it is not Kai, the human being,
so
except
the
my
third,
fixation.
the third one was
My fixation.
your fixation.
Yes.
So take your fixation.
Uh-huh.
It follows. It is Kai, a
Why-
human being.
why?
It is the human being.
Why?
Pause it. No, because it doesn't fulfill the definition of a human being.
I agree, it doesn't. It's not a human being.
Please give me the definition
Oh
of
gosh.
a human being.
I'm going to go the one that Rinpoche that said the other day. What is it? Mashe Döngkowa. That which can Mashe Döngkowa. That which can speak and understand. That's the definition of human. Uh-huh.
Ah.
Yes, yes.
That's not a fixation, huh?
No, it's not a fixation. Fixation is mental. Fixation is consciousness. In the
Fixation is consciousness?
Yeah.
And
human is non-associated.
I said before fixed, no?
Fixed is like a quality of
It's a
something.
quality.
Yeah, attribute more correctly. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Attribute, sir. Fixated, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So it follows. Take your fixation.
Uh-huh.
It follows. It is not a human being.
Except?
Take Mark.
Yes.
The
Professor
scholar,
Mark.
or what was
Professor
it?
Mark.
Take Professor Mark. It follows. He is not a human being.
Why? Why?
Because he fulfills the definition of a human being.
No pervasion.
No perversion. Please give me the definition of a human being.
Someone that can speak. That which speaks and thinks. And understands, sorry.
Reason established.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mark does speak and understand. I mean,
Okay.
Speak, yes, for sure. Understand?
So take, take Mark, Professor Mark.
Take Professor Mark. Yeah.
It follows he is not a human being.
Why?
It was because he doesn't fulfill the definition of a human being.
Reason not established. Reason not established.
Please posit the definition of a human being.
That which speaks and understands. Mark is that which speaks and understands.
Okay. So now I have to start.
Slowly testing, yeah. Kai, but in public, if you were feeling so uncomfortable before, and today for a good 10 minutes you've done this, and you're thinking of it, I mean...
Yes, something happened on the weekend.
Yeah, can you be happy with it?
Yes.
Yeah, so just be happy,
No,
right?
it's
Like,
I'm
it's
happy
okay.
with it.
Yeah, like just be happy with it.
Yes.
Because it can happen, yeah? And I mean, what I'm trying to say is, if you just keep at it, it will happen. Yeah? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all of you, Kai was feeling very uncomfortable. Yeah, so now you weren't feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling less uncomfortable. It's not comparative, obviously, but I'm just saying, just keep at it. It will unblock eventually, okay? Please. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah? Let's see what Maya's got now. Maya, come on. So who else was there after that? Did we have two more? You? And? Meenakshi ji, okay.
I'll just try something that I'm stuck with.
Yeah,
actually.
please, better,
Uh,
better,
So I
better.
don't even know how to phrase it
Try
properly. I'll
it, try it, let's
Okay.
try.
So I'm looking at the basis that with respect to, so on that basis, we form either a definition or a definiendum.
So you mean the basis,
The
that
basis.
second part of the, okay,
Yeah,
okay, fine.
So that basis.
Yeah.
And I want to check it relation to an instance.
Oh, nice, okay. So what is the relation between a basis of a definition and an instance? Is that what you're doing? Okay.
So it follows that it has a relation.
Okay, can I give you a fun answer?
Yes.
No, like a serious answer.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. A basis, okay, great. Let's say they have 4.
4.
Mm.
Okay. So take a basis. It follows that it is.
If it is a
If it
basis.
is a basis, it follows that it is necessarily not an instant.
Why?
Please pause it.
Pot.
Take a basis. It follows. If it is a basis, it follows that it is necessarily an instant.
Why?
Pause it.
Both pot and pillar.
Okay.
This is a legitimate answer, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on. Anyways, let's go through all of it.
If it is an instant, it follows that it is necessarily a basis.
If it is why?
Pause it.
Existent.
And if it is not a basis, it follows that it is necessarily an instant.
Why?
Pause it.
Chicken lips.
Okay. Okay, I don't remember. I think the first one was
Pot.
Okay. So take pot, it follows that it is necessarily a basis.
It is a basis,
That it is a basis.
except.
Take pot, it follows that it's not a basis.
Why?
Because it doesn't fulfill the definition of a basis.
Reason not established.
Can you posit the definition of a basis?
Okay, the meaning of basis, right?
Mm.
It is an illustration on which you understand something else. Let's go with that.
Okay, fine. So take a pot, it follows that it is an instant.
Except.
It follows that it's not an instant.
Why?
Please posit the definition of an instant.
A phenomenon that has its type, that has a type that operates as its pervader.
That's perfect.
Hmm. I just realized I said something wrong, but anyways, I'm totally wrong. I mean, you can give me at least 3/4 hours in this.
Just this one.
Just in the whole collected 4 responses. There's at least 3/4 hours here.
I need help here.
Pressure.
Just throwing, just start
Yeah.
throwing the tsars. Okay.
Yeah.
Second one, sorry, I don't remember.
So I said pot and pillar. Let's just go with pot and pillar.
Okay.
It
So-
is a basis, but it's not an instance.
Okay, so take pot and pillar, it follows. Take pot and pillar, it follows it's a basis.
Except.
Uh,
You can also ask me what is it a basis
so-
of, you know? Like
exactly.
you can ask me that, yeah.
So take pot and pillar, what is it the basis of?
Contradictory. It's a basis of contradictory. Understanding contradictory and the definition of contradictory, for instance, no?
Okay, so take pot and pillar, it follows. Hold on. Yeah, no, I was trying to think about if I can contradict this. Take pot and pillar, it follows that it's an instant.
Except. Oh, why? Why?
Take.
Yeah, this is the first thought right
Take,
here.
yeah, okay, so take pot and pillar, it follows that it is not an instant.
Except.
take photon pillar, it followed as an instant.
Why?
Because it is an instant of a contradictory.
Nice.
I had help.
Reason not established.
Please posit why reason not established.
Because it is not an instance of contradictory.
So, take contradictory, it follows that it is a type.
It is a type except now she threw you under the bus, now you come out yourself. But it's true. You can just try and prove that it is an instance of contradictory, right?
So, take contradictory, it follows that it has instances.
Damn. Why?
Because it fulfills the definition of being an...
A generality, reason not established.
Why reason not established?
Because it doesn't fulfill the definition of being a generality. Because it is not a phenomenon that encompasses its specific distinctions.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Because it doesn't. You lean back. Yeah. See, now when you're thinking instances, the three properties of being an instance of, you can try and do all of those things, right? My only point is, if you've done the standard repetition many times, then when you think instance, your mind is not very far away from thinking the three properties of being the instance of something, right? That's the repetition serves for that. So when you just get into the habit of saying it follows it as an instance, why? Because it fulfills the definition of instance. Because it fulfills the three properties of instance of contradictory. Then that sheer force of repetition will just make you say, it follows, it fulfills the three properties of contradictory because 1, it is contradictory. 2, it is essentially related to contradictory. 3, there are many things that are not it that are contradictory. So if you have that habit of doing it again and again, which is why Gen has said, just make you do relations for all this time, that sheer force of repetition puts that kind of pattern in your mind of looking at definitions, looking at properties. If you've had a hard time doing that, now is when you'll start to notice that you're suffering a little bit. Yeah? So that instance is, the definition of instance is that which has the type contradictory that operates as its pervader. So instantly your mind will think that, oh wait, does pot and pillar have the type contradictory? You asked me, I said it is a type. Then your next step will be, is it a type that operates as the pervader of pot and pillar? That would be one question. Then the next question could be, it follows it has the three properties of being an instance of contradictory, right? So why we've been saying it is that you all get familiar with this. You see what I mean? So then that comes naturally. If it's not coming naturally, it doesn't mean it's not there. The fact that you've done it means that it's somewhere there, right? Now you just need to tune into it. So even when you start challenging, it's not without the initial structure, okay? The initial structure always precedes. You always ask all the questions. It follows, it fulfills the definition, yes. What is the definition? It follows, it fulfills that, yes. Follows, it doesn't fulfill that, yes. What is the definition? What are the properties? Again. Then it'll click, yeah? Okay? Do you want to try now with the three properties of being an instance of contradictory? Pot and pillar.
So take pot and pillar. It is an instance of
Contradictory.
Why? Because it fulfills the three. I don't know the word for
properties.
The three properties of instance.
Of contradictory. Reason not established.
Please posit the three properties of.
1, it is contradictory. 2, it is intrinsically related to contradictory. And 3, there are many things that are not pot and pillar that are contradictory. So now you have 3 things to test, right? Your debate has just opened up even more.
So then what? I take the.
You can start with the first one. It follows it is contradictory, right? There's 3 properties it has. 1, it is contradictory. You can test that first. Then you can test intrinsically related to contradictory. And then you can test if there are other things that are not pot and pillar that are contradictory. If it fulfills these three, you've proven that it's an instance.
Okay.
Yeah? Want to try?
Okay, so take pot and pillar. It follows that it is contradictory.
First one I accept.
Okay, take pot and pillar. It follows that it is essentially related to contradictory.
Accept.
Take pot and pillar. It follows that there are many other different instances, accept them, that are contradictory.
Why?
Because contradictory is a type.
No provision. Someone suggest something? Yeah. Why? Accept. Accept. Carry on.
functional thing and non-thing. It follows.
Why are you going far away now? Just finish that.
Okay, so take permanent and impermanent.
Yeah.
It follows. It is another thing which is contradictory but not pot and pillar.
Accept. See, it follows there are other things that are contradictory but not in pillar. Now I have to accept. Right?
Okay, but how do you link it back then to the...
So it follows, these three are done. Now it follows it does have the three properties of an instance of contradictory. I have to say accept now because I've said yes. Right? I've said it has the first property.
You lost me at the third one.
There are many things that are not pot and pillar that are contradictory. Right? For example, permanent and impermanent, functional thing and non-thing, bread and, I don't know, rice. Right? So there are other things that are not contradictory, but that are not pot and pillar but are contradictory, so it fulfills the third. Now you take it back. It follows that does have the three properties of an instance of contradictory. Yes. It follows it is an instance of contradictory. Yes. It follows it is both an instance and what was the first one? And a basis. Who said basis? Yeah, see? Like that. You just take it back like that, okay? This is just practice. Hey, I'm not expecting you to get it now, but this is the practice that we're looking to do, okay? Yeah. Meenakshi ji? Yeah. Oh, you see how smartly I evaded tsas? At like 50 times in this discussion. She'd give me a tsa when she said it fulfills the three properties, I'd have to say accept. I would be one tsa. It follows it as an instance. I'd say why? She'd say because it has the three properties. I'd have to accept the pervasion, I'd have to accept the reason, it follows it does fulfill the three, it follows it is an instance, tha, it follows it is both an instance and it is a basis, one more tha, right? It follows they don't have four possibilities, one more tha, like that, okay? Meenakshi?
Okay, I want to try something that, it's one of the pairs that
I
you
don't need
given
intros.
earlier.
I don't need intros.
Okay.
Just go.
Okay, take the two permanent and generality of definiendum.
Okay.
It follows they are related.
Accept.
And posit the number of relations.
3.
3.
One sec. 4.
So if it is permanent, it is necessarily not the generality of definiendum.
Why?
Posit an example.
Existent.
Okay, if it is permanent, it follows it is necessarily the definition of generality of definiendum.
If it is permanent, why?
Posit an example. Space. If it is the generality of definiendum, it follows it is necessarily permanent.
Why?
Posit an example.
Impermanent.
If it is not permanent, it follows it is the generality of definiendum.
Why?
Posit an example.
Chicken lips. I think chicken lips can be the new horns of a rabbit. Right? Turtle mustache, chicken lips, chicken lips. Okay.
Okay, what was the first
First was existent.
existence? So take existent, it follows it is permanent?
Are you debating with me? Are you debating with me? You have a little screen in your book over there that you're looking at my face
Okay.
in.
Take
Ah.
existent, follows it is
Please close
permanent?
it.
No.
Please, no, just close it. I love the debates that we do over here. Take existent, it follows it. Take it. Debate with me.
Take permanent, it is, take existent, it follows it is permanent.
Accept.
Okay, take existent, follows it is not permanent.
Why?
Because?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Okay.
Because?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of permanent.
Reason not established.
Sorry. Okay.
Reason not established.
Not established.
You have a very beautiful voice. You can speak in the mic, don't worry, we all like it.
Okay, where were we? So,
Existent is permanent.
you had me there.
That's okay, you have to debate.
Take existent, it follows, it is the generality of definiendum.
Accept.
It is not the take existent, it follows, it is not the generality of definiendum.
Why?
Because it does not fulfill the definition of the generality of definiendum.
Reason not established.
Posit the definition of the generality of definiendum.
Phenomenon that encompasses its specific distinctions of definiendum.
Space. No, the first one has me foxed already.
But that getting foxed is fine. Now how are you going to try
That's
to
what I'm
get
trying to think.
clarity on it? Not challenge it. How are you going to even try and get clarity on it? What are you going to do? That's the important thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to continue from there.
Huh?
I don't know how to continue from there. Like, I mean,
That's the three properties.
I think she's flummoxed
No.
with
the
existing
first one
being
it's
permanent.
exactly.
Yeah, so but,
That's gonna cause like a reason.
yeah. I've said something, you want to test what I'm saying, you want to understand what I'm saying, right? It's not like you're having a conversation with yourself, you're having a conversation with me.
Right.
So if you're having a conversation with me, then talk to me.
Yeah,
If
so
you're
that's
going
why
to
I
be
said
there-
because.
No,
I
you said
wanted-
because, you said it follows it is not permanent. And I said why? Because means what?
Like I'm asking you to qualify your statement.
So say that then, what are you asking me to say? What are you asking me to qualify?
Yeah. So the
Try.
Oh, okay. Take permanent, follows it as a definition.
Accept.
Posit the definition.
That which is both a phenomenon and non-momentary.
Take existent is phenomenon.
Accept.
Take existent, it is non-momentary.
Accept.
What?
Permanent,
No,
permanent.
no, no. No, but take existent, it follows it as a definition.
Yeah, sure, accept.
Posit.
What is it? That which is observed by valid cognition. Where are you stuck?
I'm trying to find, I think obviously, they're existent and permanent are not, they are contradictory, but I'm not sure how to go ahead and.
So that's what you need to practice, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because now you know where you're stuck. how will you
No,
proceed?
I know all the places where I'm stuck. It's
Yeah,
where
but that
how to
doesn't
go
help. Now,
ahead
now
from
you
there.
know where you're stuck
Right.
right now, and you
Yeah.
have a thing that's very clear of
Yeah.
where you're stuck at. Now, this needs
Right.
to slowly get into challenging, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you've done the relations enough times and you have a map, you know that existence is the larger category than permanent and impermanent.
Right.
So why am I saying it's permanent? You can ask me why I'm saying it's impermanent. You can prove to me that it's impermanent. You can do so many things at this point. That's just going to require this little initial impetus to start doing it. So that you need to start slowly starting again in the evenings. So now when you'll do all your relations in the evening, for those of you who feel stuck, when you feel stuck in that moment, try and verbalize what you're thinking. Because feeling stuck means there's something that you've thought that's keeping you blocked. It's not like you've gotten stuck like there's a wall and you can't walk through, right? It's a mental block. A mental block means your thinking and what has been said are not reconciling.
Right.
That's the groundwork for debate. What they've said and what you're thinking have to now merge, or you need to clear it away. So if you have to be able to analyze what your thinking is saying, you have to first understand where you're stuck. Now you know where you're stuck. Now you've all been stuck multiple times in the evenings with the answers that you've gotten. Now just try a little bit to go forward, if you can. If you can't, then keep doing the relations again and again, and it will happen. Okay? But now you see where the goal is, right? You know what the goal is. Okay, so yeah.
So, oh,
You want to carry on? Just let Jason do it quickly, then let's finish let's do a little bit of the last 20 minutes. Do you want to practice? Yeah. That which has the three properties of an imputed existent of definiendum. That which possesses the three properties of an imputed existent of definiendum. The generality of definiendum. Oh, right. What is the generality of definiendum? That which, wait, why are you making me sound like I'm wrong? The definition of generality of definiendum is that which possesses the three properties of an imputed existent of definiendum. So existent, one sec, no. Existent is a generality of definiendum because it has the three properties of an imputed existent of definiendum. That's what I said. It's wrong. Why aren't you challenging it? There's so many places you can challenge. That which has the three properties of an imputed existent of definiendum. Did I say that before? What did I even say? That's what I said. So it's already wrong. Yeah, so, but you should challenge it then. Don't tell me to correct myself. Challenge it. Hello, we're in debate. Yeah, so then that's my whole point. So the generality of definiendum will be that phenomenon that encompasses its specific distinctions that are definiendum. That'll be generality of definiendum, right? So existent is that. That's what I'm saying at least. That was for the third one. I'm trying to give you fodder. You're staring at it and you're like, interesting fodder. What do I do now? Chew the damn fodder. Gosh. Jason here, take the mic. Oh yeah, you also had today. Yeah. Jason, I think we've heard you debate. Can we have a hug and then we can go forward? No, I want to make sure that you're all going through with it, right? I need to at least see where you're getting stuck.
Can I just ask, yesterday we discussed one and many.
You can do whatever you want.
Yes, and one answer for neither one and neither many was permanent.
I will give you my debate answers. You
Yeah,
debate
no,
with
no,
me.
I just would like to clarify this one. For example, if we take one, if we take permanent, if it's one or many. No, just in case if we debate and you give me this example. Okay. Take one and many. It follows that they have relationship.
Except.
Please posit the relations.
I mean, they're exclusive, mutually exclusive.
If it is one, it follows it is not many.
I mean, already she's nervous. Why are you putting a camera in her face? Venerable. Except. Yeah, okay, except. Yeah,
So-
except. If it is one, it follows it is necessarily not many except.
Okay, if it is one, it follows it's many.
Why?
Opposite example.
Permanent.
Okay, second permanent. If it is many, it follows it is one.
Why?
Opposite example.
Left side permanent, right side permanent. It's legitimate.
Okay. If it is not one, it follows it is many.
Why?
Opposite example.
Chicken lips. It's the only one. It's the only one. Yeah. I mean, no, all the non-existence.
Okay. Take permanent, it follows it is one.
Except.
Take permanent, it is not one.
Why?
Because it doesn't fulfill the definition of permanent.
Reason not established.
Please posit me the definition of permanent.
Phenomena that are not distinct.
Take permanent, it follows it is many.
Why?
Because it fulfills the definition.
Reason not established.
Posit me definition.
Phenomena that are distinct or diverse, sorry. Diverse.
Phenomena that is diverse. Permanent. Okay.
It's not phenomena that is diverse, I said. It doesn't fulfill the definition.
It does not fulfill. So it's not diverse.
No.
Okay. Take left side permanent and
Right side permanent.
right side permanent.
Yeah.
It follows it is one.
Why?
Because it
Fulfills the definition.
fulfills the definition of.
Reason not established.
Please posit me the definition.
Phenomena that are not distinct.
Not
Diverse, sorry.
Diverse.
Sorry.
So if we take one side, it follows it is left side. Permanent follows it is right side of permanent.
Why?
How to say? Because you said
I said it's not one.
not one.
I said it's an example of many, not one.
Many one. Okay. Take. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. There's nothing to discuss. Nothing interesting.
You're feeling stuck over here?
Yeah. I
So
live-
if there's nothing to discuss over here, then in the debate you do another relation. Okay?
What?
When you're doing these, right now, you feel stuck, all of you, if you're going in the evening and you feel stuck with a certain pair, don't insist right now. Do more so that until you find something that you want to challenge. Right? Because right now we don't have the skill to challenge anything. We're trying to develop that skill. Right? So right now we're trying to learn how to challenge, and so you need something that you have to be unsure about. So then what you would do in debate at night is you would switch. Then you just do another pair. That's why we've given you so many. Okay?
But
Just that.
I just really want your opinion about one and many and permanent.
What about them?
We have challenged one person who said third occasion that
What?
permanent, no one, no many.
Permanent is not one and not many. Who is this person? I'll debate with them. Who said this? Who said this? Was it you? Who said this?
This was the debate that continued into my dream.
Oh! Okay, you said it's not one, not many?
I said it's an example of a category which is not one and not many.
Okay.
But he had a reason behind it.
He had a reason behind it. But now, today, if you remember, today we said contradictory. Right? So one and many are also contradictory. Not only are they contradictory, they're directly contradictory. So now there's additional information that you can start using. Okay? So it's just building up. Okay. So please, when you're doing the relations tonight, if you feel stuck on a certain pair because everything that has been said sounds like it makes sense to you, don't insist on that right now. Okay? Move on. This is literally the example of right now if you're learning to lift weights, don't start with heavy weights. This right now for you is like heavy. It's like a heavy weight in the sense you can't lift it. This is not something that you can penetrate yet with your reasoning. Okay? So right now, find something that you can lift, use a different list of relations, try and analyze that. When you feel stuck, try and start wording your thinking into syllogisms. That's all that we're asking. Is it clear what we're asking you to do? Yes? Yeah.
When you say worded into syllogisms, I sometimes get a little stuck because I always think three parts, and then we don't do the three parts. Like, we don't do the three parts specifically.
Okay. So when I say worded in a syllogism is like Meenakshi was getting stuck with saying permanent. I said permanent is not momentary. Right? So now how will you challenge that? You'll take permanent and you'll try and prove that it is momentary. Or you'll try and understand why it is not momentary, right? Why I'm saying it's not momentary. So take permanent, it follows it is momentary. That's your subject predicate. Now give a reason.
So we hang a lot with those until we need to give a reason.
What do you mean by hang a lot with those?
It seems like a lot of times we're just doing take this, it follows it as that.
Yeah, so now I'm asking you to give the reason for whatever you're trying to understand. So I said it is not momentary. She thinks it is momentary. So take permanent, it follows it is momentary. How would you intervene? You'll have to say something, right? So whatever your thought is, try and translate it into that. Just that. Yeah?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So take pot and pillar.
Yeah.
It follows it as a basis of definition.
Yeah.
Take basis of definition. Please posit the definition of the basis of definition.
That which is illustration on which you can understand the definition.
So take pot and pillar, it follows it as an illustration on which you understand something else.
Excellent.
What is the something else that you can understand through pot and pillar?
Distinct phenomena of which a common locus is not possible.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, can you just write down a few for tonight? Actually, there's a lot, not a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want to give you so much material that when you do it again and again, in 1 out of 11, you'll feel stuck, right? Like that's the thing. Then when you try and challenge it, then you have something to go on. Otherwise, it's all too easy. So, what is the relation between contradictory and functional thing? Okay, yeah. Can I just make an observation that I find very humorous? You know the one time in our classes when you all look very much at ease in your own skin? It's when you're writing stuff. It's like, please write the relation, and everyone goes, yeah. It's so funny how it's such an ingrained habit that when it's pen on paper, suddenly it's like, now we're doing something right. This is how one studies. Yeah, it's so funny, no? Do you know in a monastery traditionally they would not have, the teacher doesn't walk in with a book and the students don't walk in with texts. We walk in like this. And the teacher sits there and has all the definitions by heart and they make the students memorize the definitions. The students memorize all the definitions by heart. Nothing. What we're doing in the morning, that's for you to memorize. They don't read it, you hear it. When they said that things were orally passed down, what does that mean according to you? How are things orally passed down? This obsession with textual material is a much later development. Things are orally passed down. You walk into class, you're taught something, you learn it, you memorize it, you're told the doubts, how to debate it, you walk out and you debate it. There's no pen, there's no paper, there's no iPad, there's no MacBook, there's nothing, there's no recorders, nothing. That's the skill that you're trying to develop. So, But that's just how it is. So in the monasteries, this is still how it works. And then when they would study the text, they would have one text. My teachers grew up in that generation. They're called pecha. You know pechas, the texts? You would have one text for 30 students. They would pass it on to each other because they didn't have enough material. I'm just telling you this because I want you to appreciate something. They would have one text. Or they would have, so there's two texts. We have general explanations and in-depth texts. One is called Chidun and Tachu in the monastery. Oftentimes they would have 4 general explanations and 1 main text of debates. That one text they would pass on amongst 30 people. Okay? Read 2 pages, pass it to the next one. Read 2 pages, pass it to the next one. All my teachers have studied like this. And now, you go to all of the monasteries, all of us students, we have these huge libraries with all the printed texts in these fat, beautiful books that have been given to us for free. And the one observation which is constant in the monasteries is when they didn't have texts, people were better. The studies were better, the students were better, people were more prepared, people knew their things more. And now everyone has texts. People are less intelligent. It's because we rely on them too much. You're all doing the same thing. I've told you this 100 times. I'm just saying it again because I suddenly remembered how my teachers in IBD and in the monastery in the south, they would have one text for 30 people. Now you tell me how comfortable you'd feel if I said this is the text for all of you. Go debate. You'd have a panic attack. You'd be like, what are you saying? How? No, not that. Fine. Right? You see my point? So at some point, this has to become your mental thing. Please break out of this text-heavy habit. Yeah? That's even worse. We're just talking about even this. Like having to constantly rely on this is then, oh, I don't know the definition, so what? It's in the text. Oh, I don't know this, so what? It's in the text. Oh, I have to check this out. I'll do it later. Anyways, it's in the text. Oh, I'm going to die now. I need to learn compassion. No problem. It's in the text. It's not going to work. So this is called mind training. All of these things are mind training, developing mental qualities. Get out of that habit soon. It's going to otherwise really keep you stuck. Okay? So enjoy the verbal part of it more. The deer in the headlights with me talking to you is like, and then suddenly I'm asking you to write on a piece of paper and you're joyous and exuberant and shining. It means we're getting it wrong. You should be more thrilled in the other one because the skill will come through that. Please. Okay? Yeah. No, stop finding excuses. It's not. It's not. Next relation. What is the relation between directly contradictory and functional thing? And then the third one. What is the relation between indirectly contradictory and functional thing? Yeah? So that's 3. 4. Directly contradictory and what was it? Contradictory by mutual exclusion? Is that what it was? Yeah, that one. So directly contradictory and contradictory through mutual exclusion. Okay? No? Contradictory, directly contradictory is your A, and your B is contradictory through mutual exclusion. Okay? Your A is directly contradictory, your B is contradictory through mutual exclusion. Okay? Then your next one is contradictory through incompatibility and indirectly contradictory. Not specified which kind of indirect contradictory, okay? Just indirectly contradictory. Okay? Sure. Contradictory through incompatibility and indirectly contradictory. Yeah? So these are the, up till here, how many are there? 5? Now the remaining ones are the fun ones. Okay? Now, what is the relation between contradictory with functional, or contradictory from, we would say, right? Contradictory with or from? With. Contradictory with functional thing is your A, and your B is, now this is British English versus American English. I don't know whichever one you want to do. Contradictory from, professors. Just have a quick, short discussion. Contradictory to, there, where? Switzerland. Contradictory to functional thing and permanent. So your A is contradictory to functional thing, your B is permanent. What do you think it is, by the way? I'm just curious. Contradictory to functional thing and permanent, what do you think is the relation between these two? There's 4 possibilities. I'm telling you right now. There's 4 possibilities. Okay? Then, contradictory to permanent and functional thing. This has 3. Yeah, so your A is contradictory to permanent and your B is functional thing. Okay? Then your next one is contradictory to pot, contradictory to pillar. This one is also great, the next one. Contradictory to functional thing and permanent have 4. And contradictory to permanent and functional thing have 3. Okay, now next. Contradictory to form and not contradictory to consciousness. Yeah? And then this one is for you, Olga, because you had fun today with one and different. Contradictory to one and contradictory to different. And then the last one for the brave and the ones who are still standing at the end. Okay? There's actually many like this, but I'm just giving you one. Contradictory to pot is your A. And your B is contradictory to pot. So your A is contradictory to pot and your B is contradictory to pot. Both pot. Contradictory to pot and contradictory to pot. And I'll even tell you that this last one has 4 possibilities. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah? So please try tonight. I'll come and listen. If you have any doubts during debate, not doubts as in, oh, I don't understand this concept. Doubts as in, can you show me how to proceed? Can you show me how to form a syllogism? Just call me and then I'll come. Yeah? Okay? Yeah. These are all your doorways, Jay. So I'm going to come and listen to you tonight. Okay? That's how you'll find. So when you find, look, okay, let's make something very, very clear. Okay. There's this thing when you do the, okay, it's like not the best example, but in my case, it helped me a lot. I mean, it was an interesting thing. It's important to identify the hook. There's always going to be a hook. Okay? So if you're reading Shantideva's Bodhicharyavatara, he says, after that entire reasoning of why it's not useful to get angry because you should not get angry with the stick. If it was the stick, you should get angry. You know that he does that whole long-winded thing, right? At the end of which he does the hook. He creates the hook. He says, the cause of anger is mental unease. There's a state of mental discomfort or mental unease. That is the cause of anger. It's not the person, it's not the words, it's not the actions, it's not the expression. If it were this. He does a whole list, exhausts, eliminates those, and then he says, this is the real cause. Right? So now, if someone is interested in trying to develop patience, you identify what it is that you need to develop patience to. It's not the person, it's not the words, it's not the action, he says, then when you have that state of unease, that's what you're trying to develop patience towards, right? Sitting around unpleasant people who keep chattering, if you can zone out, that's not patience. Correct? Just because you're hearing things you don't like, if you can tune out, that's not patience. If you get up and leave, that's not patience. If you can endure pain by getting strong and desensitizing your skin while getting bashed up, that's not patience. Patience is being able to endure that discomfort, right? Similarly, when you're debating, when you find yourself with a mental unease where they've said something, I don't agree with it. That's your hook. Now, how are you going to challenge what has been said? So do your 4 questions, get them to say answers, test the answers with the definitions, test whether the subject, the example they give fulfills the definition, and when you're like, this doesn't make sense to me, and using the example of Meenakshi ji, where permanent for Meenakshi doesn't make sense, that it is not momentary, that's your hook. Now there you need to develop the skill of how am I going to challenge it. That's your doorway. Okay? Because if you agree with everything that's been said, like the one with Olga, then there's nothing for you to challenge. So you've got so many, some point, someday, someone, somewhere, sometime will say something that is not to your understanding or you don't agree with or not to your liking. How do you challenge that? That's the hook, that's the doorway. Jay, is that clear? So if you're not running through this list exhaustively and you're not doing the 4 questions exhaustively, you're not asking the definitions exhaustively, you're not remembering the definitions, you'll have no chance to even start debating because you'll spend your 1.5 hours, 2 hours running through definitions and divisions. That's not helping, right? So that's the prep you come in with. You do the 4 questions, you find the hook where you're like, wait, this doesn't make sense to me, and then you try and intervene. That's your doorway. Okay? Now, how will it happen? Practice. Literally, just practice. So, whatever they've said, take this, it follows, it is not. What are you thinking of? Why do you think permanent? Let's just use it as an example now since we're there. Why is permanent for you momentary? Do you agree that permanent is not, sorry, one sec. Do you agree that existence is not momentary? You agree that it is not momentary? Now how are you going to prove it to me? Make a syllogism. So see, take existence, it follows it is momentary. Why? Whatever you were thinking, give that as a reason. I've said it's not momentary. Do you agree that it is momentary? But I'm saying it is not momentary. You didn't agree with that, no? Earlier when you... That's where you... So how will you go from there? See again, theory class. Not that you're doing it wrong. I'm saying this is the habit that we have. We explain everything that we do. We give nice theoretical frameworks that are going to make sense. What will you do in debate? That's what I'm asking. One sec. Take existence, it is permanent. I've said accept. Why? Impermanent? That's what I'm asking you to do. Now your debate will start. That's it. That's your debate has opened. I will either say reason not established or I will say no pervasion. If I say reason not established, then you have something to go on. If I say no pervasion, you have something. That's exactly what I'm asking you to do. That's it. There is no correct way to intervene. There is no correct debate. There is no perfect reason. It's all what you think. It's all going to come up. Okay? That's all I'm asking you to do. Yeah. Contradictory fits in the other way of dividing ascertainable phenomena. Remember, we have this chapter which is one and many, generality and instance, definition, definiendum, contradictory and related. So contradictory and related, they come together as a pair. Okay? Yeah. So just try slowly. But while you're trying, you're still not getting away from the old stuff. You're still doing the 4 questions, you're still asking each thing, you're still asking all the definitions, and then when you feel you notice that thing, then you start, okay? And you try. If you can't do it, move ahead to the next one. There's plenty, okay?